welcome to my new studio. It is the first Crochet and Chat from the new garden, Pink Studio. Crazy times. I am really loving how the background is looking right now with all the yarns, and we are definitely heading into some lighter seasons here in Finland because it is 8 in the evening and it's still very light. 2 months left and we will barely have any dark nights, which is exciting and a bit exhausting at the same time. I feel like my body isn't really keeping up with switching to a lighter period, and I'm very tired constantly, which might be due to the deadlines of the book and a lot of work too, but I also feel like spring is coming with a lot of things that is happening and also a lot of energy, but at the same time I am very tired. I don't know if anyone can relate. But yeah, today we are gonna talk about what's inside my upcoming book. I am also gonna talk a little bit about the photo shoot that we had last week and how that worked out, together with Karin, my photographer for the book. And maybe we can talk a little bit about the new Line magazine, where I have my first pattern. This magazine is gorgeous. If you haven't seen the designs yet, I mean, just look at this mohair cardigan in pink and red. I think this is definitely one of my favorites, and a design that I need to make. I'm gonna see if I can find. Here is the lemon bag that I designed for Line. It was a very positive experience working with them. They are a lovely group of people and they have done a stunning work. And I am so happy that they finally have launched a crochet version of their magazine, because I've always liked their knitting magazine. Hi Marta! But I miss I feel like there is space for a modern looking crochet magazine. And that is definitely what they are doing. I also like Anna Erlandsson's design. It's like a ribbed vest or top. I don't know if that kind of design would fit me, but I think it's very pretty. Also, Molla Mills has a design in this magazine, a bag. I also saw that she is releasing her next book together with Line, which is very exciting. There is also, I love this picture where all the bag is hanging on the hooks. Fun fact, this magazine is photographed in Karin's house. Karin, who is my photographer for my book. So they had rented her house for this photo shoot, which was a very, very funny coincidence. As I said, we had photo shoot last week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I was super stressed before that photo shoot because I hadn't really got confirmed, or I knew Karin was coming up to our place, but I hadn't got confirmed when I confirmed her mail that this is the amigurumis and if she's bringing backdrops, etc. But it all worked out. She found our house, even though it's a bit complicated to get to now due to some construction work. There is a hole in our street, so you have to drive a weird route to get here. But it was a lot of fun. It was less, I would say it was less time consuming than I was expecting. I was expecting that we would have like 5 to 6 hour days each day, but we had maybe the last day we photographed maybe for 3 hours, 2-3 hours, and the Thursday we photographed for maybe 4 hours, and the first day I think was the longest, which was maybe 4 hours too. We didn't have any water running due to the construction on Wednesday, so we also tried to keep it very efficient. Our goal was to photograph all the single photographs for the amigurumis on Wednesday. On Thursday we took portrait photos of me and some feel-good photos and some more group photos of the amigurumis, and we had a couple of amigurumis left, I think, from Wednesday. And on Friday we had the cover photos, the back cover photo. We didn't plan on having a photo on the back, or I hadn't planned it, but we decided that we wanted to have amigurumis on the front, and why not squeeze in amigurumis on the back too, because when someone picks up your book at the bookstore, at least I tend to first look at the cover, then turn the book, look at the back side, so if there is more amigurumis there, that can entice the person to buy the book, then it's good marketing. So better not to leave it empty when you can utilize that space. We also took photos for the inner covers because my publisher had a suggestion that we would put all the amigurumis on the inside cover pages too, so that when you open them you could see an overview of all the amigurumis that is in the book. We decided to divide them into 2, so we have the first cover page with half of the amigurumis, and then the back is with half of the amigurumis. I don't know if that was what he intended or if he would have wanted everything on one page, but it would have been too crowded, I think, to get everything into one picture. So happy with it that we just tried to mix and match them a little bit evenly. Hi Anna, hi Frida, hello Anne. Anything else about the photo shoot? I love the pictures. I can say that much. They are incredibly colorful. I'm very happy that I've been working with Karin because she has the same taste in photos that I have. So we both like very colorful pictures with a lot of contrasting colors and pretty flat light, which means not a lot of shadows, and the background is like a solid color of some sort. So it was very easy to collaborate with her and bounce ideas, and I had a couple of ideas to start off with for 2 of my designs. The shrimp, I wanted the same, if you have seen the shrimp picture in my Instagram feed, on the champagne glass. It's my grandmother's champagne glass, and I wanted that to be included in the book. So we reshot that picture and with bubbles. So we had, I didn't buy there is this kids champagne here in Finland, which you usually buy if you want something non-alcoholic, but it's very dark, so it wouldn't have matched the color theme on the picture. So I went with a Novelle like sparkling water that was a little bit tinted into peach. So that is what we have in our drink. I also learned a trick. So if you ever are photographing champagne or something that has bubbles in it, you can put a tiny bit of sugar into the drink and take the photos, because when you put the sugar into the drink, it will bubble a little bit more. So I'm very happy with everything I learned during these days, because I learned a lot. And she's a really talented photographer, and I learned that I need to buy a light diffuser thingy, which is like this sheet of fabric that you can put on either side where you want like the shadows to get soft. You can soften the shadows. I've been doing it instead with a white board on the opposite side to reflect the shadows a little bit, but I'm gonna learn more and try out having a reflector in the future. They are pretty cheap, I saw on the internet, so I'm gonna buy one of those. I also need another tool that she was using all the time. It was this little paper sheet thingy or card where you could find like a black box, a white box, a black and white box, and this is to get the white shades right, so you can color correct it when you edit. And I always wing this but if you would have that on your pictures, you wouldn't need to wing it, so it would save you a lot of time. So that is a couple of things that I've learned. It was also very nice that we had a lot of time booked, that we had 3 days for all of these pictures, because it didn't feel stressful. We ended about 1 or 2 each day. Maybe one day we finished up 2:30 or something at latest. But that was also what you had energy for. And we are both very creative people, and know that creative things like this needs to get its time. You can't really, I mean, sometimes you get the perfect shot on a photo during 5 minutes, and sometimes a photo takes a half an hour or even an hour to get like the perfect angle. Or I was holding some amigurumis in my hand for some shots, and like getting the hand in the right position, not overtaking the amigurumi, and at the same time not being in front of my crotch, and then being higher, like it's looking natural at the same time and not like set up in a weird way. So I was happy we had a lot of time to do all of this. She will now be editing the photos. I will be sending the assembling photos to her sister, who is gonna color correct and edit those for me. And I am gonna write down the last patterns during May and work on the text. So that is the process so far, and what's going on with the book. Marta, have you decided which amigurumi will be on the front page? Yes! It ended up being a flat lay on a pink background with, if you've seen my calendar, I have the amigurumis in a circle and then the text in the middle. So we went for something like similar, where the amigurumis will be kind of in a circle and then hopefully get the pictures, the text in the middle. But because I am not doing the cover more than deciding which amigurumis are going on the front, we'll see how it ends up. But I think it's gonna look good. And then on the back we have like head popping up at the edge of the amigurumi of the page, and it's gonna be yellow. So the front cover is gonna be pink and the back is gonna be yellow. The inside covers are also gonna be pink. So it's gonna be a very pink book. I hope that it doesn't scare people off, but at the same time, you know me, Garnknuten is pink. That's just how it is. It would be weird if it would be any other color as a first book. Maybe in the future, if I publish more books, I would like to have maybe a purple book and a yellow book and have like different colors for different themes on the books. That would be really fun. Oh, that sounds so cool. Sounds awesome. Loves pink. Great to hear that you are not scared of pink. I love pink too, and I think it's gonna match my studio very well. So yeah, I'm very excited. Some amigurumis that are coming onto the cover, as I remembered, Ralph the Moose is one amigurumi. Mainly because I would love for this book to be translated into German. And I've heard that Germans love mooses. I also know that we in Finland and in Sweden love mooses. So I thought that it would be fun to have him on the cover page. I also think Alice the Fox is on the cover page. She was chosen because I feel like foxes are very generally liked as an animal in the toy niche. What else? I had one, or maybe it was only two bigger amigurumis. Then the lobster, that isn't a lobster, is a common, no, what? Oh, it's a crayfish. It's a crayfish. The crayfish is there, as well as the shrimp, because I felt like they were a little bit out there, but at the same time I felt like crayfish and Sweden goes very well together, and the shrimp, I just feel like she's so funny that I need to have the shrimp there. What else? And then we probably crammed in some mushrooms and something else. I don't really remember. I will definitely give you sneak peeks on the pictures when I get the hands on them. But for now, I thought that we would go through all of the animals inside of the book. And I thought that we could do it as a game form, so that you can guess in the chat which animals are coming into the book. The theme is Nordic animals, so that will minimize everything that you need to guess on. And I am gonna write down when you have guessed the right animals. There is 2/3 are familiar faces, and 1/3 is new designs. Hi Minerva, no worries. We have been talking about the book and the photo shoot from last week. You can catch up with the talk later if you want to go. You will find the replay for this Crochet and Chat inside of the hub. There must be a mouse. No. Morten the mouse didn't cut it for the book. I am sorry. I couldn't figure out what color I wanted to make him, and I don't know. I didn't feel like he really matched the vibe. Maybe he will be a part of the next book. There is a moose. Oh yes, Ralph the Moose. I will write the names of the animals that has names. There is a couple that doesn't have any names yet. There is a bear. The bear doesn't have a name. we will just say X, or there is a in progress name. Boris. I don't know if I like it though, because I have connections to a Boris that I don't really like. I like the name in general, but it has associations for me that I don't really like, and that is why I'm a little bit conflicted with the name. There is a fox. Yes, Alice the fox is in the book. There is moose, älg, yep. Lynx, yes, there is a lynx. She also has a name in the making. I don't know if this is the final name yet, but it might be. My sister's name is Linda, and she hasn't got a amigurumi yet. My older sister has one, Ellie the elephant. Her name is Eleanor, but Linda doesn't have any yet. There is a frog. Yes, Arthur the frog is in the book. Yes, there is a grevling. A grevling is a badger. The badger doesn't have a name yet. And I'm so happy with how the badger turned out. It is so cute. It is so cute. I love the tapestry crochet and how it turned out, and the striped body and everything. I will save showing you all of these amigurumis to maybe the Crochet and Chat in May. We could have a go through where I show you all of the crocheted amigurumis, but I want to keep some of it secret still. Shrimp, yes, Ruth the shrimp is in the book. Even made the cover page and a really pretty picture. We have a crayfish. The crayfish does not have a name yet, but also loving how that turned out. I am already figuring out how to make her into a bag because a crayfish bag would be very fun. Then we have, yes, badger. Sorry for saying it in Swedish. No worries. Squirrel maybe. Yes, Elton the squirrel is in the book. Squirrel. I think it's that way. The English name escapes me, but Trana. Yes, Trana is common crane in English, and yes, there is a common crane. It is also amazing. Doesn't have a name yet either. Common crane could be something with C. Christine, Karen the common crane. Yeah, we need to figure that out. Hedgehog, yes, Henry the hedgehog kind of needed to be in the book because it's my granddad, and I've been working on the book in my granddad's house. Squirrel please, yes, yep, Elton the squirrel is in the book. Carol the crane, I'm gonna put name suggestions here. Beaver, nope, not a beaver, but it was on my initial list actually, so it was one of the animals that I thought about, but at some point I had too many brown and beige animals, so I needed to cut a lot of beige and brown animals. Otter was also there, and I had to cut that too because I had too many brown and beige animals and I wanted more color. So Järv, nope. Would have been a fun animal though, a little bit out there, a little bit different. Järv is, oh, I learned that name. It's Wolverine, I think. in English. I was very surprised because I didn't think that Wolverine was an actual animal too, but it seems to be. Pike. Is pike abborre? No, perch is abborre. So not a pike, but there will be a yeah, pike is a gädda. That would be a fun though, but I thought that it would be too similar to the perch. The perch doesn't have... Yes, it has abbe, the perch. As you can see, some of these names are very Swedish, and some of them are not. Some of them works better in English and some not. But I just thought that abbe, the abborre, would be a very funny name. Okay. Now, oh my god, beaver. Oh, a beaver would be so fun. Maybe we will save that for a future crochet along. There is also maybe coming a additional pattern for this book that is not inside the book, but that you will get if you pre-order the book. So if you haven't already signed up for the wait list, let me snag the link for you. I made a wait list for the book today. It's in the Discord, but I can also throw it in the chat right now. There. Share copy. Let me even maybe pin it. Pin the message. There it is. The waitlist for the book. If you are interested in signing up, that means just that you get to be one of the first that get notified when the books are coming from pre-order. The books are in Finnish. There is a limited edition. I have 300 that I will sign. So there is 300 copies available. And I want you to be able to be one of the first to get the message, because this book wouldn't exist without you. And I'm so grateful for all the support that I have gotten from this club over the year. You have no idea how much it means. Okay. Oh, I have a funny story about that. I was a kid and we were on a beaver safari and I accidentally fart. I blamed the beaver. I should have told you that. Very great excuse. A raccoon. No raccoons. I was thinking about it, but then I realized I tried to Google how common raccoons are in the Nordic countries, and they seem to be pretty rare. So I skipped the raccoon. Yeah, no worries. Runa the raccoon would have been a fun addition to the book though. Swan? Nope. It was also on my list, but the swan did not cut it this time. I have a long list of additional animals that I could be making into a second book. So yeah, no swan. I didn't. It felt like swan is the most one of the most Finnish animals that we have here, and so due to that, I felt like maybe a swan should have needed to be in this book, but at the same time, I don't know. I felt like it was a little bit boring. I didn't. Or maybe the initial thing is sometimes I have this really visual idea on how to make a certain animal. And when I thought about the swan, nothing came to me. Nothing came to me. So I just figured out that, okay, actually the crayfish stole the swan's place, because the crayfish was so easy to design and so easy to make. So I felt like, okay, it was meant to be that in this book there would be a crayfish and not a swan. A seal, yes, there is a seal. Oh, what is the name of this seal? It is a norppa in Finnish. It is a saimenvikare in Swedish. What is the English word for this? I do think that there is ringed seal. Can that be the... We will just call it a seal, but it's a special seal because this is one of the only seals that we have here in the sea in between Sweden and Finland, and also south of Finland. This is seal norppa, but it doesn't have a name yet either. Something probably starting with an N, I guess. We have... Marta, I'm guessing Lola the giraffe isn't in it. Nope. But she has got a prime spot on top of my bookshelf. You can't see her now because the camera is cutting it off. But she's very pretty against the pink walls. And I'm very happy that I finally can have out a lot of my amigurumis. I have Ted the Turtle in this shelf, and I also have Casper the Crab here. Owl, yes! Bob the Owl is in the book. What do we have left? We have... what is this in English? We have Doris, the... Domare, what is the English word? Bullfinch is coming. I wanted to have a mix of bigger and smaller animals. So there is 8 big sitting amigurumis, and then the other ones are a mix of middle and smaller amigurumis. Doris the bullfinch can also be turned into a blåmes. And yes, I'm sitting here and googling a blue tit. So it's the same pattern, but if you just change the colors a little bit, you can make it into a blue tit. I need to name our blue tit something as well. Wolf, nope. There is no wolf. Even though it would have been a fun make. There is a amigurumi that we have crocheted together inside of the Happy Amigurumi Club recently. That is inside the book. Ferret, nope. There is no ferret. I was thinking about adding hermelin. Is hermelin ferret? Or is it something? Ermine. Is that the name? The tiny ones that are white and have a black dot on their tail in the winter, and then they are brown in the summer. That would be a very nice amigurumi, since I could have made it into white and black and made it very graphical. but that is not reindeer. Yes, Rangni, that we have learned means many spiders in Italy. Rangni, the reindeer, is in the book. Who else do we have? Oh, we have a really, really old one that you haven't guessed. Spider? No, actually, I didn't even think about putting Nelly the spider into this book, even though it could have worked, because I mean we have spiders here in Finland too. Worm? Nope. I was thinking about it though, to make a dagamask. Worm, a pink worm. But I thought that it was a little bit too simple, so it didn't happen. That might be a fun free pattern in the future or something. I'm also trying to remember what we have left. I know one we have left. That would have been cute with a hat. Yes. We have Tilde, the bunny, which is very fun that she is joining the book because she is the first sitting amigurumi that I ever designed. So I'm very happy. And all of these sitting amigurumis have different, most of them have different like tapestry crocheted bodies. Some are striped, some are dotted, some have squares, etc. And I'm gonna put all of those color graphs at the end of the book, and you can pick those color graphs and do them on whatever amigurumi you want. So you can mix and match the patterns a little bit, which I think is a very fun detail on the book. I'm trying to. I have all of them back in a plastic box, and I'm trying to figure out. We have 3 left. What? Do we have any more? We have the fish. We have the perch. Oh, we have a bird left. We have what is it called? Gustav is the name, and it is a gräsand, men gräsand is I feel like my English today is failing me. Mallard duck, the Gustav, the mallard duck. There is 2 amigurumis in this book that is crocheted with double-stranded yarn, so 2 yarns held together. One of them is Gustav the mallard duck, and the other one is the seal. So the seal is lilac and white in combination to get it a little bit like spräcklig. I don't know the English term of that, but get it a really nice structure, like texture on the amigurumi. And Gustav the mallard duck, the brown is mixed with white, so you get like a brown and white combination on the body, which I also think is very pretty. What do we have left? We have 2 amigurumis left. Goose didn't join the book this time. Blåmes we have, but it's I haven't calculated it as a separate amigurumi. It's just a bonus pattern. Okay, I found one more. It is a very common bird in city scenes. And I also found the last one. It is a very small fish. Pigeon! Yes! The pigeon is just hilarious. He doesn't have a name yet either. But I bet we will come up with something funny. Pigeon. And the last one is I know this in Finnish and in Swedish, but it's a herring. It's a tiny herring. Herring. That doesn't have a name. You also need Hugo maybe? Or Hamilton the herring. This is the final cut of animals inside of the book. The book does also include a couple of patterns for some mushrooms, some leaves, and some accessories for these amigurumis that you can mix and match a little bit, move around. There is a pair of rubber boots for example that you can have on all the sitting animals, and a scarf that you of course can move around on different animals as well. So I want the book to be versatile in that way, and I'm wishing that there could be some doodles with, for example, on Alice the fox, you can change out the colors into light blue and make it to an Arctic fox, for example. And some tips and tricks on you can change, for example, the patterns are interchangeable between the sitting amigurumis. And yeah, I want to encourage the readers and the crocheters that are using this book to give the amigurumi their own touch and their own design, like changing colors and moving patterns around, making accessories, crocheting a hat. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a very inspiring book and a colorful book, and just I want to highlight crocheting as an art and something that we have inherited kind of, as well as lift up the beauty in the Nordic nature. And I really think this book does it in a very modern way, of course, because the pictures aren't taken outside in the nature, they are taken inside. But taking the pictures and the amigurumis with a pretty plain background and not too much, I didn't want too much extra stuff in the pictures, and this is something that I realized on the first photo shoot during autumn, that I wanted the amigurumis to be in the focus. I wanted the stitches to shine through to the viewer, because I love single crochet stitches. I think that they are stunning, and I love the colors, how cotton yarn looks when you work with it, and I really want that to be the main focus, and I didn't want it to get lost in the pictures with a lot of other stuff going on around the toy. At the same time, we also tried to do some pictures where the toys was in use or was like in a space or of some kind, just because it's also good for the reader to be able to envision this amigurumi sitting on maybe their shelf in their home. But yeah, I am very excited about this book, and I can't wait to have it like a physical copy. It should come out for pre-orders for bookstores in May, and the publisher are making like this first draft of the book that people can look through. So I'm very excited to see how that looks, and hopefully be able to give some feedback, and if we want to change stuff so that it really, also the layout would resemble Garnknuten and everything that it is, because I have a very specific taste and a specific style, and I hope that it will also shine through the layout, not only the pictures. So that was a lot of talk on the book today. Do you want a short tour of the studio? I am making a video for YouTube, but I have given myself grace and taking a little bit of a break on YouTube currently, just because it takes a lot of time to film videos and I want them to be good. Of course, I want to make good content for you. And so everything takes a little bit slower right now because I'm prioritizing the book, because the book has a deadline, and that's the main priority. Everything else I can pick up after the book. So yeah, I could give you a tour. This will probably, I don't know if I can, maybe I will try. Let me know if the sound is gonna be horrible, but I'm gonna take down my, but my camera is okay, we need to kind of do a sitting tour for this, and then you will get a better tour on YouTube later, maybe next week, because it's almost done. It's because I realized that I'm a little bit stuck with my cord situation. Okay, sorry for the weird angling. So we have my Lundia shelf in the corner with my, this is like my business stuff mainly. There is some, my printer and yarn in those baskets, and some business books and crochet books, and mainly yarns and tools and stuff. I don't know if I'm gonna keep this shelf because I feel like I could fit a wider shelf. I also don't really like the black sides on this shelf. But this is a old shelf, if you're familiar with Lundia. That was popular like in the 19th, beginning of 2000 maybe. I don't know if it's only a Finnish company or if Lundia is found in Sweden as well. But either way, you can get pieces to this shelf all over the Facebook Marketplace. So I'm gonna try and find new sides and maybe wider shelves. Then we have this little side table that I took from our living room because it was a little bit too crowded in there, and Lucas thought that it might work here. Then we have, sorry, just a second. I need to move my microphone so that you can see. Hey, why do I not? Sorry, I've been talking about with a small camera. Now you can see more of the room. So we have my granddad's office shelf that we moved here from. This has not been in Helsinki, no. I think it looks really good with yarn in it. It is not like super damaged, but it has some stains, like watermarks, I think, because it's like a teak shelf. So it needs a little bit of TLC. I was maybe thinking of painting the upper section. So this is like, these two pieces are loose. And I was thinking about maybe painting this because this piece is mostly damaged. And then just leaving this in wood because I kind of like the wood look. Then we have two IKEA shelf. I have no idea where that shelf is, so I need to make a shelf for that one. This section is the, hey, you can come and shop my stuff in my studio section. So this is my little shop area, is the thought. So I'm trying to have only things that customers can shop here and keep my own stuff separate. I also have some packaging tools there and a couple of boxes that I didn't fit there. I will probably add more yarn here and in those shelves too. Would like to put some shelving maybe up there with my wooden logo. So there is a little bit still to do, but I feel like it's looking very cute so far, and I'm very happy that I can have all my yarn out for display because it looks very inspiring. And I've realized that I love to see the yarn that I'm working with and love to go around and touch my yarn because I like it and it is very inspiring. Then we have a old carpet that is a bit crooked. This is not the final carpet, but I couldn't find the carpet. Or I found it, but it was very dirty, so I need to fix that. There is a pile of stuff in the corner. This is how far my camera is reaching. I'm gonna go through what I have in these cabins in the YouTube video, but mainly there is like paper photographing stuff as well as my sewing machines and fabric in the first one. Then we have like a lower shelf is crafts, middle shelf is technical stuff, cords and shit, and then I don't remember what I have. Anything else? That is filled with stuffing. That's the main thing. There is a very big bag of stuffing inside of that. But yeah, there is 2 windows in this studio, which I really like. And now during evening, there is a really pretty evening sun, which I wasn't expecting. I was expecting that this room would be very dark. So I'm positively surprised. I know though that yes, it will be dark in the winter time, but to be honest, it's dark everywhere in the winter time in Finland. So I'm gonna enjoy now that it's spring and soon summer and very light outside. The window that is there, like behind the camera, it's a patio outside of that. If you have been following me on Instagram, my stories, I've taken some pictures from there when it was warm and not -5 degrees as it is now. But I'm planning on putting in a door. We just need to figure out there is an element on the wall underneath the window, and we need to move that or remove or move that. before we can put in a door. So we need to figure out that with someone who knows how to do those things. I know a person who can put in the door for us, but we need to figure out who can fix the element situation for us. But I'm positive. I think it's figure outable. I'm gonna have a door there, whatever it takes, because currently Lucas and we're jumping through the window to get outside because we're too lazy to go out from the front door, because it's like not far away, but it's further away than going through the window. So we need a door badly, and it would also be nice to have or the goal is to have days where I could have my studio open or my yarn shop open for customers, so that people can come in and browse my yarn and what I have for sale here and buy my stuff locally. So, and that we can't have granny customers jumping through the window. we need to have a door. So a door is the goal. I hope in May, but I don't know, maybe it's too optimistic to get a door until then. I also feel like it's maybe not super good to have events here and open like a pop-up shop right now due to the building situation on the street. So I might postpone it to maybe June. But my goal is to at least have one day a month during summer where I could have open hours and people could come here and sit on the porch or the patio and crochet and come and buy yarn. I'm starting small. I still don't know if the yarn shop idea is gonna fly or die. But yeah, I'm gonna try it out and see how it works. It would be fun to in the future have the possibility to host events and host workshops specifically, but I don't think that maybe the time is right now for that. I think the time right now is to focus on the book and get the book ready and launched, and then after that look forward and see what's the next thing, whether it is a yarn shop or maybe a second book, or I don't know, more bag patterns, or I don't know. We will see what happens, but I am trying to enjoy the moment with the book, because I know that it's going fast. It's going crazy fast, this process. And even though that I know that there is quite a lot left to do, it's nice because it's text, and I kind of know how fast I can write a pattern from a finished amigurumi, and it's easier to calculate than the designing process, because that is a lot of going back and forth, crocheting, frogging, figuring shapes out, etc. So it takes longer than just writing the pattern. Writing the pattern parts is usually maybe the more boring task, but right now I feel like it's gonna be very nice to do something that doesn't need a lot of brain capacity, so to speak. Anything else that is going on? We are gonna close off this Crochet and Chat pretty soon, but before we do that, I want to show you my next project and probably also my next pattern. You know how much I love Root the shrimp, and I asked maybe a month ago people, or maybe even more, if people would be interested in a shrimp bag. And 27 people said yes, which was a surprise. I was thinking like, this is probably just a really weird thing that I'm into. But it seems like there is plenty of more weird people out there. Welcome to my club that would like a shrimp bag. So I'm currently working on a shrimp bag. I am gonna work on this during my extended weekend now that it is 1st of May. It's a free day here in Finland, so I'm gonna take the Thursday, Friday and weekend off. But I will probably bring this with me to the cottage that we are going to. So I'm working on the lining. It looks more pink than it actually is. It's more it's the salmon pink that I've used as a lining, but it's a bit dark now that the sun is going down. But yeah, we're gonna have a ribbed bottom, and then I'm gonna crochet like up here a little bit more, and then we need some legs and a happy eye and some tentacles, and yeah, I think it's gonna look really cute. I did realize though that I do not have a matching zipper, so I might need to order some zipper for this project. I will probably buy a couple of extra and also launch some do-it-yourself or material kits for the shrimp bag if you want to grab the yarn and the carabine hooks and everything that you need for the bag. But yeah, I'm very excited to finally get to crochet something else. You know, I love amigurumis, but I've been crocheting amigurumis now for a lot of weeks in a row, and a lot of days and a lot of hours. So I'm very excited to work on something else, and a new bag. I'm also already planning the crochet along in June. It will start a little bit later than usually, because usually I start the Happy Amigurumi crochet alongs in the beginning of the month, but I am gonna take the 2 first weeks off in June after the book deadline, because I think I will need it. So I'm gonna take my summer holiday then, and we are gonna do the crochet along during the 2 last weeks of June. So it's gonna be like a midsummer crochet along. I thought would be fun. So that is the goal and the plan. I think that was everything for today. Thank you so much for keeping me company. There was a lot of talk today and not so much crocheting from my part, but I hope that you got some crocheting done. And yeah, I'll see you in the Discord, and have a really nice Vappu and 1st of May and spring. Bye, see you.